Key point 1. A big budget doesn't guarantee success. Many managers assume that for a marketing program to work, it needs to have superior design, flawless execution, and substantial financial backing. However, that is not always the case, as IBM, General Motors, and Sears and Roebuck demonstrate. Consider the story of General Motors. It didn't have a competition problem, and even though it wasn't delivering excellent quality, its real issue stemmed from marketing. More money is wasted in marketing than in any other human activity, outside of government activities, of course. Ries and Jack Trout. In today's world, when a company falters, the competition will take its business. To recover and thrive, a company must await its competitors' missteps and capitalize on these errors. But how can a company avoid making mistakes? The key is to align a firm's strategies closely with the fundamental marketing principles. Like the laws of physics, marketing rules are universal and apply to any business. This summary will teach you how to make a lasting first impression. You'll also understand why pioneers don't always become market leaders. Learn how to find your niche. Utilize your competitors' weaknesses and become exclusive no matter your company's size. Don't miss out on these valuable insights. Follow along, transform your marketing approach, and achieve success without breaking the bank. Key point 2. First come, first succeed. Through extensive research, Ries and Jack Trout discovered what truly works in marketing, distinguishing effective tactics from common misconceptions. Drawing on these findings, they formulated the Immutable Laws of Marketing, key principles that dictate the campaign's successful outcomes. Contrary to popular belief, marketing success extends beyond offering better products or services. It demands strategic positioning and consideration of several factors, from market share to competition. If the market share is small and the competition is high, the chosen marketing strategy is ineffective. Establishing dominance in a new segment as a first mover is crucial in marketing. This concept constitutes the core of the law of leadership, which emphasizes the advantages of pioneering over improving. Gaining the first mover advantage allows a brand to firmly establish itself in the consumer's mind, making it harder for competitors to persuade consumers that their products are superior. The law of the category asserts that there's hope even if you don't get into the customer's mind first. You can always find a new segment to lead. If there isn't a suitable category or market segment for your product or service, invent it. In the 1970s and 1980s, Digital Equipment Corporation, or DEC, was the second most successful computer company after IBM. How? Instead of choosing a field with intense rivalry, DEC focused on a new one, manufacturing mini-computers. This story reinforces the notion that creating and dominating a niche market is a critical strategy for success. Before introducing something new, thorough research is paramount. So, to evaluate its unique position in the market, the company should determine the product's pioneering aspect and the category where it innovates. Key point 3. Perception versus quality. The laws of marketing modify and influence one another, with none reigning supreme over the others. A case in point is the MIT's Altair 8800, the world's first personal computer, which illustrates how the law of the mind could take over the law of the leadership. Though poised to be a market leader, this computer is no longer in production. Even though IBM wasn't the pioneer, its heavy marketing campaign helped it reach the minds of consumers faster than its competitors. This rule rests on the principles of the law of perception, challenging the notion that marketing is a contest of products, where the best one will emerge victorious in the end. This idea prompts marketing professionals to research and gather facts extensively, assuming the truth will ensure their product's success. However, this approach overlooks a crucial aspect of marketing. Success stems from customer perceptions rather than the product's inherent qualities. Competition among the three leading Japanese car brands, Honda, Toyota, and Nissan, exemplifies the law of perception. While many assume that the battle hinges on tangible factors like quality, styling, horsepower, or price, the deciding factor is actually how consumers perceive each brand. It's evident when we compare the American and Japanese markets, where these brands sell the same cars. Honda enjoys considerable success in the United States, while it lags behind Toyota and Nissan in Japan. The disparity is not in the product, as both markets offer the same cars with similar features and pricing. Instead, it's the differing perceptions of Honda in each country that influence its success. In the United States, Honda is recognized primarily as a car manufacturer, whereas in Japan, it's still predominantly associated with motorcycles, impacting its car sales. This difference underscores that in marketing, perception is everything. The real battleground for companies is not markets, but people's minds. Key point 4. The ins and outs of slogan making. How much mental real estate does a company need to sell you its product or service? Just enough for a single concept, a principle known as law of focus. This law guides you into the minds of prospective customers by narrowing the focus to a single word or concept. It's the ultimate sacrifice for marketing. For example, Xerox machines make copies, and Pampers produce diapers. Both brands are generic names within their respective categories. The first brand that captures the concept is often able to portray its competitors as illegitimate pretenders. Ries and Jack Trout. The law of exclusivity naturally follows. So if your competitor already took ownership of a word, don't try to adjust it to your brand marketing. Volvo, for example, associates itself with safety. Giants such as Mercedes-Benz and General Motors tried to place it in their campaigns, but their attempts were futile. Their stories exemplify a fundamental marketing principle. Once a brand identity has taken root in the minds of consumers, altering that perception becomes a formidable task. If you aren't a leader in the field, choose a word with a narrow meaning for your slogan. The law of the ladder claims that products exist on a hierarchical ladder. No two are equal. The higher, the better. Prospective customers pay attention to new data or information that is consistent with their own product ladder in that category, and the rest don't matter. Moreover, the product spectrum has two primary categories: high interest and low interest items. The first group includes things you use daily, while the second group includes infrequent purchases such as furniture. Did you know? A decade after crafting its slogan, "Just Do It," Nike changed it to "I Can" in 1998, and it flopped. They soon returned to the former one. Key point 5. Aim for a big picture. No matter how many businesses enter the segment, the two biggest ones often battle for the customer, adhering to the law of duality. Perhaps you've noticed that you usually choose between McDonald's and Burger King when you crave a burger, after which you need mouthwash, so you're likely to hesitate between Listerine and Scope. The two big businesses are usually the tried and true picks, with the newcomer trailing behind. The law of opposite is relevant for both market leaders and their challengers. Every brand has its strengths and weaknesses. What's more, you can also turn each advantage into a disadvantage. Much like how a boxer uses his opponent's power against him, a company should leverage the leader's strength to their detriment. If you're in second place, study the business above you. See what their strengths are and offer an alternative for your potential customer. It's an age-old battle between the upstart or upcoming versus the old reliable. In a dynamic market, products and services constantly evolve. The law of division states that each product's class will splinter with the emergence of new demands. At first, there was only computers, but with time we had laptops, PCs, and notebooks. As the leader, stay attuned to the latest trends and address each emerging category with distinct brand names. Think Samsung and Samsung Galaxy, Uber and Uber Black, Apple and iPhone. Exploring new business categories is risky, requiring courage and financial cushion, yet the benefits are immense if successful. The law of perspective deals with short and long-term results that may differ from the original intentions. For instance, while sales can boost business immediately, they can be detrimental in the long run. Getting used to them, clients wait until prices decrease. Moreover, having a sale makes your customers think your costs are generally very high. Adjust your marketing strategy today to avoid such pitfalls in the future. Key point 6. When less is better. Although frequently disregarded, the law of line extension highlights a common pitfall. Companies initially thriving with a single highly profitable product often succumb to the temptation of expanding their product line too rapidly. This strategy, aimed at capitalizing on initial success, can backfire. Instead of enhancing profits, introducing too many new products simultaneously often leads to financial losses, as the focus shifts away from the original successful item. It is always important to remember that more is less and less is more. Specializing and narrowing focus can significantly enhance a company's position in the consumer's mind and drive success. Achieving this requires corporate courage, the ability to resist the temptation of over-diversification and maintain a robust, focused brand identity. While novelty may initially attract attention, stability fosters consumer trust and loyalty. The law of sacrifice is rooted in strategic relinquishment for success. This principle emphasizes that achieving prominence in today's market often requires deliberate sacrifices in key areas, such as streamlining the product line, narrowing the target market, and minimizing constant changes. Contrary to common beliefs, concentrating on fewer, more in-demand products is a more reliable way for success. From a marketing point of view, FedEx's main feature is delivering small packages overnight. However narrow that focus might seem, this strategy helped them outgrow Emory, a much bigger company. A good marketing specialist and a psychologist will assure you that you don't need everyone to like you, your brand, or your product. You don't have to please or appeal to everybody. So instead of striving to adapt to every market fluctuation, a strategy that can be exhausting and ineffective, maintaining a consistent and stable position is vital. Embracing steadiness over continuous change conserves resources and solidifies a brand's market standing. You may adjust it slightly, but a complete transformation is unwelcome. Key point 7. The power of bold moves. As the law of attributes stipulates, you must research and find the words you wish to own. No matter the size of your business, try to find a robust opposing feature to play off against the leader in your sphere. In the beverage market, Coca-Cola and Pepsi rivalry perfectly illustrates this strategy. When the former first entered the market, it quickly became the leading choice, resonating particularly with the older generation due to its classic appeal. In a strategic move, Pepsi entered the scene not by mimicking Coca-Cola's approach, but by positioning itself as a refreshing alternative for the younger generation. This clever differentiation allowed Pepsi to carve out its distinct space in a market dominated by an established leader. Let's look at another example: toothpaste. Cavity prevention is the product's most important feature. As a manufacturer, your product must own it. However, the law of exclusivity reminds us that once a brand masters a particular trait, it becomes unavailable to others. Therefore, you need to select a lesser attribute and make it synonymous with the name of your product. Your category might be smaller, but on the other hand, you're more likely to become a leader in it. Your job is to seize a different feature, expand your feature's value, and then increase your stake. Attributes have different values, so choose the most important one to outbalance your competitors. The law of candor presents a counterintuitive approach to marketing. It operates on the principle that honesty can be unexpectedly persuasive, especially in acknowledging a flaw. Negative admissions are often readily accepted as truth, but the public, lending credibility to the communicator. Negative admissions are often readily accepted as truth by the public, lending credibility to the communicator. In contrast, positive claims are met with skepticism and demand substantial proof to be deemed credible. Thus, this clever tactic involves acknowledging a drawback and skillfully turning it into a positive selling point. Being sincere about your drawbacks doesn't make you apologetic. Instead, it establishes interest and trust with your prospects. Once people believe you're open about your negatives, they'll become far more likely to buy into the positives you offer. Another rule, the law of singularity, reminds companies that trying harder doesn't guarantee success. It states that what truly works in marketing is akin to a single, bold move. In any given scenario, only one strategy can produce significant results, typically by exploiting a competitor's vulnerability. The automobile industry exemplifies this, where General Motors' dominance in the mid-range market was unchallenged for years. Nevertheless, successful challenges to GM came through unexpected flanking strategies. Japanese manufacturers penetrated the low-end market with small cars, while German brands targeted the high-end market with luxury vehicles. Key point 8. How to embrace unpredictability. Most marketing plans are built upon assumptions about what the future will be like. The problem with these plans is that no one can predict the market for years in advance, as the law of unpredictability asserts. For instance, IBM's ambitious plan, Office Vision, aimed to integrate all personal computers with its systems. However, this initiative fell short due to advancements by competitors like Sun Microsystems and Microsoft. This case underlines a crucial strategy. anticipating the plans of competitors. By analyzing them, businesses can better foresee future market developments and circumvent potential setbacks. Most companies rely heavily on numbers and accounting, believing that calculations are crucial to success. A good accounting system may result in a lousy marketing strategy. Short-term planning should be your top priority and an angle you might expand from in the future. It is a known fact that success blinds people. When we reach our goals, we tend to be less objective regarding what to do next. The law of success teaches us to avoid making rash decisions in times of success. Being on a dream run, many companies replace their judgment for what the market wants. They often overestimate the power of their name, hastily extending it to other products. However, it's crucial to recognize that brand power stems from the right marketing strategies. So, success lies in adhering to their core principles, capturing the consumer's interest, and maintaining a focused approach. Success can instantaneously become failure through our arrogance, so never stop learning. The law of failure underscores the importance of timely recognition and response to flops in business. Companies tend to focus on repairing and holding on to failing aspects, often out of fear that abandoning them could harm careers. However, the most effective strategy is acknowledging mistakes early and decisively minimizing losses. Examples like IBM with copiers and Xerox with their computers demonstrates the pitfalls of delayed acknowledgement of wrong decisions. These companies would have benefited from giving up these unsuccessful ventures much earlier than they did. One more crucial marketing rule, the law of hype, is evident in the behavioral patterns of companies like IBM. It maintained a low profile during its peak success, with minimal public communication. However, as challenges arose, it notably increased its presence in the media with numerous press conferences. This shift illustrates a critical insight. A successful company rarely relies on excessive hype or promotional tactics. In contrast, the increased need for publicity is frequently a sign of underlying troubles or a decline in performance. New Coke has likely raised the most anticipation in the soft drink sphere. The company used the free publicity resource equivalent of $1 billion and large amounts of money on an advertising campaign. With all the hype, New Coke should have become the most successful brand of all time. But it didn't, because the reality went contrary to the image advertised. Real revolutions happen when we are least aware of them. Excitement alone won't make things happen. Conclusion. The laws in this summary are fundamental, but not every company might find them applicable and suitable. This idea may seem strange. A company has an operational framework to reach the top. Why could it possibly omit using it? The answer is the corporate ego, which often comes before any rational decision. Human nature rarely welcomes surprises. We tend to project the fear of the unknown onto everything we do, which refers to our business activities. Many companies fail to succeed because they rely too heavily on numbers and predictions. Therefore, when some unexpected crisis hits, they feel powerless. Another common mistake many make is trying to put a brave face on a bad situation. When you do something wrong, it is always best to admit it straightforwardly. The more transparency you have, the more loyalty your customer will demonstrate. If you can acknowledge the negative, your prospects will be more lenient to trust you on your substantial positive achievements. The first step toward great sales is excellent marketing. Don't miss your chance to make extraordinary things happen for you and your customers. Try this. Consider these tips to measure how your prospects perceive your product. Learn what their lifestyles and attitudes are. If possible, go into the sphere of their instinctual responses. Have your target audience participate in your surveys. Monitor social media to see what people say about your brand. And never underestimate online reviews on Google or specialized websites. React when necessary.